Number 10, quality of life and cleanliness, such as water from our faucets, is regulated to make sure that it's not too high in acidity or dirty in any way. It's pure, clean water that we can feel safe to drink. Secondly, garbage removal. Even though there aren't city companies that do this, our taxes go toward contracts with private companies like Waste Management or the dozens that are around here to get rid of our garbage. And although these aren't the prettiest of pictures or places, at least all this trash isn't in our streets or piling up in our homes. Number 9, the Food and Drug Administration. This group makes sure that our food is safe, and when shopping and maybe trying to be a little bit healthier, things like nutrition labels are required to be accurate and truthful. Also, if you need to, go see a doctor. We know that those professionals had to pass certain trainings that are federally regulated. They need to be licensed people so that when you go and talk to them and they give you advice and perhaps prescribe some medicine, you know that what they're saying and what they're giving you is in your best interest and it's safe. Number 8, inspections. Before you buy a house, it needs to be inspected so that everything they say works truly does, and there aren't secretly broken things that will come back to bite you later. Secondly, building inspections. Perhaps an elevator. Instead of feeling this the whole time you're riding up and down, because the federal government requires elevators and buildings to be inspected and safe, we can all ride feeling like this. 7, streets. Even though some streets are in tough shape, we know that because of the government, there is funding to fix problems like this. Secondly, signs. We can feel pretty sure that signs are telling us the truth. We don't need to wonder or doubt if they're wrong or have been messed with. It's regulated and it's a law for street signs to be accurate. Speaking of signs, if you're really looking forward to a rest area and this sign tells you that's 20 minutes away, it would sure be unfortunate if that were untrue. It's regulated and the government has control over signs and distances all being accurate. Number 6, the National Weather Service. Even for convenience of knowing what to wear or what to plan for on any given day, we can check the weather and we know that it's truthful and accurate. But that doesn't even mention severe weather. For us, winter storms or tornadoes, but people in other parts of the world, hurricanes or earthquakes or tropical storms or tsunamis, anything that might be very dangerous and life-threatening is usually known of ahead of time because of National Weather Services. Number 5, the Department of Weights and Measures. Anytime you or your parents are at one of these, they know that when they stop at 3 gallons or 10 gallons or 15 gallons of gas, that's truly the amount of gas that they're putting into their vehicle. The government controls that. Secondly, if things are sold by weight, we know the scales and the structure is accurate. That's government controlled. If you buy a pound of meat, you're truly getting a pound of meat and not getting ripped off. Number 4, the Family and Medical Leave Act. This is a government law, this is a government decision, where if you or a family member is feeling sick, you have the right, legally, to take time off from work without your employer firing you or keeping your pay away. They have to pay you even if you take time away from work because you or someone else are feeling sick. Number 3, money. Because of the government, this paper actually has value. And because it has value, we want to keep it safe. One nice thing that the government also regulates is something called the FDIC, which means that if you put your money into a bank, it will be there for you. You can feel safe in that fact. Imagine how scary it might be to leave home if all your money is at your house, with the threat of someone going in and taking everything you have. Banks protect this. Number 2, regulations on schools and daycares. All of you know and can be hopefully resting assured that all of your teachers here at school have a certificate that is through the state of South Dakota. The government requires that we have passed and shown that we have skills and traits that qualify us to be a teacher. Secondly, daycares. As a parent, or I'm sure your parents would agree, that places that need to care for and a lot of times raise children, they need to follow certain regulations. And these places are checked on and kept responsible by the federal government. And number 1, driving, the police, and 911. Laws from the government such as speed limits, or requiring all of us to have insurance on our vehicles so that crashes don't end up being really expensive, or laws against the number of hours that semi-truck drivers can drive before they get too tired, which is unsafe. The law that requires people to have a license to drive in the first place. Laws against driving drunk, or driving and texting, or driving in any condition where you may not be a good driver. Laws that prevent really old or beat up or worn down vehicles from being used on our roads. Obviously, the law that requires us all to wear safety seatbelts when we're in a car. And stoplights that are working and functional and keep traffic moving in a safe direction. We usually can count on a green light, meaning that cross traffic isn't going to smash into us. It keeps us safe and we trust it. And all of those things that we put a lot of trust in without even thinking about it is established by the government.